Penelope toyed with the strings of her reticule. Thomas had told her to inform the tenants. If she told Mrs. Phillips right now, they all would know by next morning. A dear woman, but one did not tell her anything which should be kept a secret. The chief concern lay in how the tenants in the village of Woodley would react. "We have had a letter from Mr. Smith, the solicitor. It would seem Lord Renshaw's heir is an American." "An American?" Mrs. Phillips' jaw hung slack for a bare moment, a hopeful sign. "That's unexpected." Unexpected. Not a wholly bad reaction, and encouragement enough to continue. "He is not foreign to our ways. He's a doctor and trained in London and Edinburgh. Lord Renshaw himself sponsored his education." "A doctor? Is he a physician or surgeon?" "I do not know." Mrs. Phillips tapped a finger to her mouth. "Oh, but he must be a physician if he is a gentleman enough to be his lordship's heir." "I am not certain. I do know there is less distinction between the two in America." Could be worse, I suppose." She placed a hand over her heart. "He will come to take care of the estate, won't he? Make his home here?" "I am confident he will take care of things properly, if he could be found." The solicitors were having a problem tracking this Dr. John Turner down. The address her uncle had left was incorrect, and the city in which he was supposed to live, Philadelphia, was large. But Mr. Smith had assured them they would find him in quick order. "We'll have to see then, won't we? And let's hope he doesn't come with a wife." Mrs. Phillips leaned toward her. "We would miss your visits." This wasn't the first time that particular issue had been raised. Hannah, their housekeeper, had voiced the thought just the night before. If Lord Turner were to bring a wife or even a sister with him, she would become the lady of the hall and be expected to take up a certain role in the community, such as visiting tenants and those in the village. The role Penelope had been performing for several years now. The duty had fallen to her under unique circumstances and was accepted by most, but there were a few in the community who thought it unconventional. Hopefully, the new lord would not take their view, wife, sister, or no. Nothing was fixed yet. He had to be located first, and even then he may decide to leave things in Thomas's hands. He was a doctor, and in all likelihood had a thriving medical practice. Besides, even if the worst should come about, it was certain the woman in question would be in want of a friend, being in a new country. And if that should fall through, Penelope's visits were by no means her only link to the estate or the community. "I'm sure things will work out for the best, Mrs. Phillips." Thomas approached and took her side. "I'm sorry, old girl, but there's a problem at their farm I must see to." His tone sounded flat. So much for his day off, poor man. "Do you want me to come with you?" "No, but I need to go with them now. Would you mind driving back? I am sorry." "Don't be silly. I'll be fine. I'm sorry you won't have the day to yourself as we intended." "Hall matters can't seem to wait. Mr. Phillips said he would drive me home when we're through." "Should we wait luncheon for you?" "Probably not." Aggravation melted from his face as he turned to the farmer. "I'm ready when you are. Miss Howard is willing to drive herself home." Penelope lingered at her uncle's grave for only a few minutes more before leaving. As unfortunate as it was that Thomas had been needed elsewhere, it gave her time to stop someplace which had haunted her thoughts since their period of mourning had confined her movements. She guided the small horse-drawn dog-cart down a tree-lined path, which gradually rose until she cleared the shade, and a tall, crumbled ruin greeted her. It had fascinated her since she was a little girl. Part of the Ashford Hall estate, it lay at the top of a hill which overlooked the entire property and the village of Woodley, known locally as the Castle. It had been the home of the original baron, built in the era of knights, their ladies, and holy quests. She could almost hear her and her brother's youthful laughter as they pretended the fairy folk lived among the broken rocks, and the sketches Thomas had drawn of their musings, if only he still had them. Those times were long since gone. The castle was different now. She halted the cart before the stone bridge that had been built across the old moat and climbed down. Perhaps this had been a mistake. Perhaps she should stop coming here and put it all in the past. To return, week after week, year after year, was irrational, but